Hello everyone. Today I'll be reviewing the Declasse Tampa GT based on the 1965 Chevrolet Malibu. It does also share some details from the Plymouth Belvedere GTX from 1967, particularly in the side of the car and the hood, but everything else is mostly based on the Malibu, as I'll show you in a bit. Most of the customization options here are pretty good. For some reason, they're labeled as off-road options. But I'm sure some people out there like that. These bumper options are pretty accurate to the real life cars as well, particularly the stock option. That's the one that I'm going to go for both the front and rear bumpers, since it closely resembles the 65 Malibu. But I'll quickly show you the customization options for those of you who haven't seen it yet, while customizing my own build and really just, you know, choosing how I want to customize mine. But really, you have a lot here to work with. I mean, you can go for usual crazy builds that people like to do here, as you can see. This isn't my taste, but um, I'm gonna go with something clean here. The stock grill here is closest to the real life Malibu, but I'm just gonna show you the other options here, similar to the Plymouth as well. I'm sure many of you guys know how Rockstar is combining different types of cars to avoid copyright and all that type of stuff. But the grill option just looks so nice in chrome stock. Here you have a lot of vented hoods, you have some shakers, you have some, bigger engine options, as you'll see in a bit, bigger air intakes and stuff like that. It would have been nice if there was a hood without vents, just a regular uh, clean hood, but I'll just leave the stock one. With a car like this, you really have a lot to work with. What I want to do is go back and just, see how close I can get to the real life car, look at other pictures of the real life car as well, and see how close I can, get to it. But I'm just gonna go back and forth later after the video. I'm also gonna be working on the paint job. Um, so what I'm gonna go for isn't completely what I'm already settled for. What you already saw in the thumbnail isn't exactly what I'm gonna go for. But anyway, here are the mirrors. I feel like the stock mirrors look good, but the square mirrors are probably closer. I might be wrong. It might depend on the facelift of the car. Anyway, for the plates, I'm going to choose for the midlife. It's kind of funny. And I'm going to choose a classic yellow and blue. For the color, I'm going to settle for a red, but I'm not sure which shade of red I want to go for. I'm going to post this car later on my community posts. But I might change the color to something else, as I said. Maybe like a light blue with a nice pearlescent on it. Featured on the real life car. Maybe I'll keep it red and change the wheels. But I do like to take screenshots of the cars that I customize and then upload them to my community post. So if you haven't seen those, please check them out. But anyway, I was stuck between Grace Red and a regular red. It was so hard to decide here. I really don't want anything that's too bright or too dark. I feel like Grace Red is right in the middle. Even though the lighting inside of the auto shop is a bit dim, I feel like it'll work out in the end. And for the secondary, it does translate over to the stitching and some other secondary parts if you so choose. As you can see, a little bit of stitching, not too much. And then for the trim color, you can change the interior color for this. If I put it to red, that would be a little bit overkill. It would be way too much red. So I'm just going to leave it as black for now. but it does look really nice painted. It's of higher quality as well, the interior, compared to other vehicles that offer painted interiors. It's just way nicer. But I'll play around with that later after I'm done recording. For the roof here, I mean, you can put some, roof racks. You can put whatever you want up here. But that's not my style. I'm just gonna leave that off. For spoilers, if you're going for a drag race, of course, you're gonna choose one of these. For this car, for the build I'm going for, I really don't want any on mine. I want something that's a bit more. Uh, what's the right word I'm looking for? Something that's not too modern here, like this. So I'm just gonna leave it stock for now. For the suspension, you can get this pretty low, but I feel like the ride height is just good enough for me. Uh, I don't feel like it should be any lower than it already is. For the wheels here, of course, I'm going to go into the muscle category. Now, this part was a bit difficult since a lot of these wheel options look pretty good. But I just wasn't too sure if I wanted in chrome or, regular. Even before recording and all that stuff, I was like looking at the options to see what I wanted to go for so I wouldn't take forever. Uh, but here I might as well just show you some of the wheel options and how they look on this car. The old school, I mean, those look really good. Just like the real life Malibu, those wheels were also optional. I believe on the SS model, but some wire wheels were also available for the stock version of the car. For right now, I just settle on just the non-chrome versions, the regular. And I'm gonna put some tire lettering or radials on this to just really bring the wheels out, tires. You can put some window tint, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you off how it looks. But anyway, I'm gonna quickly show you the interior and engine close up. Detail and texture quality is great. As you can see, it has a nice classic V8 engine model. The rest of the car is well done as well. It has uh, pretty high quality badges right there on the side, in the front, and the rear. The interior is reused in a few other muscle cars, but it's not a big deal since the quality here is higher than any other vehicle in the game. As you can see, even the trunk model is pretty nice. I really don't have any other complaints with this car. Everything is modeled pretty well. It has some nice details up there in the trunk, underneath the trunk. I'm sure many of you can agree that this car was well done. Speed is decent and handling is acceptable. While I did have a lot of fun driving this car around, I do have quite a few complaints to talk about, such as the car's handling and the brakes. While it is fun to slide around the corners and you can do a lot of cool power slides with this thing, I'm sure it's something that many newer players are probably not used to or will take some time to get used to because with a car like this, I mean, you have to time your braking. As you can see, I really did crash a little bit there. Um, and I had to really slow down to turn. This car really does handle like a boat. I'm sure you could say, you can make an argument, well, that's how the real life car probably handles and probably correct. But I feel like some bits of this car could have been done a little bit better, to cater to players and all that stuff. But once you get to the top speed, it's pretty good. It does what it's supposed to do as a muscle car. Uh, I probably shouldn't complain too much about its handling since, well, that's how it is.